This episode is brought to you by Pulsar.
So it's very natural to feel bad. It's okay. But don't get carried away by your feeling bad.
How
And don't
do-
punish others for you feeling bad. And then that's where the problem starts, when you start to punish others for you feeling bad, I think.
The thing about I've heard people talking about it. I don't understand it. Talking to yourself. I like I like explaining things to myself, saying, "Hey, it's gonna be okay."
Yeah, I do too.
You do too.
I do.
These are the things. These are the steps that I need to take. Let's say let's say great things are happening in my life. Let's say I'm excelling in things, whatever I'm doing. Let's say I'm heading towards the apex. I say to myself, don't forget your roots, buddy. Don't forget where you came from. Don't forget your friends. Don't forget these things. You know, I've kept I have specific things in my house to remind me of where I came from. You know, that's very important to me. Sometimes we tend to forget talking to ourselves. The demon in us takes over, and we think that we're invincible.
That's what I meant. Don't be carried away by that bad feeling too long. so that's what it meant, feeding your demon too long. I mean, when you start to let that bad feeling, drive your life, then
Yeah.
that's where the demon stands in, eating you up.
I wanted to ask you something. How does it feel when you meet the Dalai Lama?
Well, I met him, I think, twice or thrice.
Yeah.
Of course, he is a really highly enlightened being. That's how we consider him as,
Yeah.
He's, at his age and his knowledge, his wisdom, and so on. It's very soothing to even to think of him. So besides that, I don't know how to really explain him. But as being an enlightened being, I mean, and he's got a very motherly energy.
Oh, that's you? When was this?
Yeah, this was in 2001.
2001?
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah, I was so blessed.
Such a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's like 20 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
I don't know. I don't think. Do you remember seeing this picture?
Yeah, it was in his room actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is it in his presence, though? What do you feel?
You see, when we are not with him,
Yeah.
we fantasize of how it will be.
Yeah.
But then once you're near to him, you feel very comfortable and you feel the warmth. And, the preconceptualized, think of how it will be. That is more like quite an agitating feeling. You feel nervous and so on. But once you're there with him, you feel good. I mean, you feel comfortable. It's not like we imagine things.
Yeah.
So I felt very blessed.
World leaders, you've met a majority of the leaders in our country. You've met a lot of other leaders as well. Anybody that you've met that you've been like, oh, okay, very interesting.
Well, I'm not much of a thinker like that.
Yeah.
Whoever I come across, sometimes your inner voice feels good about this person, and you don't need to really have a conversation. You feel good just seeing this person. You feel the transmission, that energy towards you. You enjoy that. But every time I come across great teachers, great masters, हामी नेपालीमा सिद्ध पुरुषहरू हुन्छ नि, गुरुहरू,
Oh.
आध्यात्मिक guru, not the school teacher guru. Your whole body can feel the vibration, and tears starts rolling down, not even realizing why these tears are rolling down, but the sense of deep joy is there.
Yeah.
You feel like you're being cleansed, and you feel so good, and then you feel like you want to cry. But the cry is not about sadness that you feel. It's about the joy you feel, without being fabricating. I mean, you don't really think about it. It just happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. Oh, I wish I can become like them, and that's what I'm praying every day. May I be able to really cultivate or the power of my compassion or develop my wisdom to their level so that I will be able to, be like them.
Yeah. Who do you think is there a figure, or is there
Yeah, I've come across many
Yeah.
great masters, great teachers. I mean, first of all, my own teacher. So he has really transmitted all these positivity in me. The way I think, the way I do things, I try to do things. Having said that, I don't mean to claim that I do everything perfectly or I have no problem or anything like that. I do have problem. I still do carry my weaknesses. I'm still struggling with my hypocrisy, and I'm still trying to correct things in my life.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it with deep joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because of them, being able to be around such great masters like my guru and many other gurus are there, I personally feel Nepal we even call it Deva Bhumi, and Punya Bhumi, Bhagavan Buddha जन्मेको थलो, पुण्य भूमि, देव भूमि, देवी देवताको थलो धेरै छ हाम्रोमा. But then how many of us are able to feel them? We only go there to do सौदाबाजी गर्छौँ. देवी देवता कहाँ गएर सौदाबाजी गर्छौँ. राजनीतिक दलका नेताहरू कहाँ गएर सौदाबाजी गर्छौँ. But then we forget, or we aren't able to learn to feel them. These देवी देवता, उहाँहरूको त्यो डिभाइन एनर्जीलाई हामीले फिल गरेर, त्यो हामीभित्र पनि छ है. All we need is to get tuned to it. त्यो ट्युन नै गर्नु जानिया छैन. हामीसँग त्यो एन्टेना छ भनेर पनि कतिले बुझिराखेका छैन. कति मान्छेले त्यो ट्युनिङको प्रोसेस अफ ट्युनिङलाई, त्यो टेक्निकलाई अन्धविश्वास भनेर हेरिराखेका हुन्छ. एन्ड द्याट्स वेयर आई फिल लाइक द्याट्स स्याड. बट on the contrary, we are so blessed. And that's where I stand today to feel like that. मैले संसार घुमेको छु. I've been to the most powerful nations, so-called powerful nations such as USA, to China, and I've really, really enjoyed my best luxurious, so-called luxurious status of my existence in those countries, not having to struggle with where will I stay and what will I eat and so on. त्यो पनि होइन, म त ठाटली गएर ठाटली इन्जोय गरेर आएको. तर every time I come back to Nepal, म एयरपोर्टबाट झरेर आफ्नो नेपाल भूमिमा म टेक्छु नि. The vibration that I feel is so humbling and so like real groundमा टेके जस्तो फिल हुन्छ. अरूहरूको देशमा त्यो फ्रिक्वेन्सी फरक छ. अनि यहाँ मलाई त्यो आध्यात्मिक एनर्जीबाट म आइएम इन माई ओन सेफ जोन फिल गर्छु है. त्यो yeah, I might sound crazy when I speak about these things, because I don't know how many of people out, I don't know how many of them are out there who can have little alignment with my feeling.
Well, I got a bit. I'm going to be honest with you. I've traveled just a bit in my life, not as much as you. मलाई चाहिँ काठमाडौँ फर्केर आएपछि यो आफ्नो सहर हो. This is where I belong.
अब त्यो त अब कम से कम त्यो त आफ्नो हो भन्ने फिलिङ त आफ्नो ठाउँमा छ. किनभने आफू जन्मेको थलो, आफू हुर्केको ठाउँ, आफ्नो मेरो भन्ने भयो. मेरो देश, मेरो घर, मेरो खाट, मेरो लुगा, मेरो धारा, मेरो टोयलेट भन्ने भयो. त त्योभन्दा पनि अझ माथि जुन the spiritual energy that we really have, really, really do. I wish people can feel that. त्यो फ्रिक्वेन्सी त्यतातिर अलिकति ट्युनिङ गर्ने कोसिस मात्र लाग्न सक्यो भने ओके, फर्स्ट टाइम त्यति नहोला, दोस्रोचोटि कोसिस गर त, तेस्रोचोटि. त्यतातिर बाटो देखाउने पनि गुरुहरूको पनि कमी छैन हाम्रोमा. अब हो, जो गुरु एकदमै एनानोमसली बसिराख्नु भएको छ, चर्चा मन पराउँदैन, द रियल सिद्ध पुरुषहरू हुनुहुन्छ, उहाँहरूलाई त हामी खोजेर जानुपर्छ. अहिलेको मोडर्न सिभिलाइजेसन जस्तो होम डेलिभरी त हुँदैन होइन. अहिले पो एउटा मोडर्न सिभिलाइजेसनले वेयर एभ्रिथिङ इज अबाउट कन्ज्युमरिजम एन्ड सो अन, यु पे मनी एन्ड यु हेभ इट भन्ने खालको त्यो सोचले बसिराखेका छौँ हाम्रो. तर रियालिटी हाम्रो पूर्वजहरूको जमानामा त पानी प्यास लाग्यो भने कुवाका आफै जानुपर्छ भन्छ नि, खोज्न आफै जानुपर्छ। त्यस्तै गरेर सद्गुरुको शरण हामीले साँच्ची चाहेको र त्यो डिभाइन एनर्जी, त्यो स्पिरिचुअल एनर्जी आफूमा त्यो इन्भोक गराउन या त्यो इन्हान्स गराउनलाई आफूले साँच्चीकै फिल गरेका छ भने खोज्नुपर्छ गुरुहरू। एन्ड द्याट्स वेयर आई फिल सो ब्लेस्ड। मैले घर छोडेर भागेको त हो, तर मैले त्यही शरण पाएँ। एन्ड सायद त्यो नपाएको भए I would be one of the same person here where I would be complaining about everything, about myself, about people around me, about everything that I do. Yeah.
You consider yourself lucky?
I feel very blessed.
Yeah.
Very blessed. धेरै बयान गर्यो भने नजर लाग्ला कि भन्ने डर।
यस्तो अघि नै हामीले कुरा गरेको थियौँ नि, पोइन्टिङ फिङ्गर्स त त्यो त मान्छेले जिन्दगीभरि गर्छ नि, त्यो त गर्छ नि।
Yeah, I'm at a stage of life and age where मैले एउटा खाना दाल भात तरकारी मिठो मेरो मुखमा पर्दा भने I really feel so humbled and I feel the deep joy to think like how blessed I am. What have I done to deserve such a delicious meal? And त्यो पनि कस्तो मायाले पस्काउँछ त्यो खाना, मलाई खुवाउँछ, अरूले खुवाउँछ भनौँ न। अनि हालैमा यसपालि म माथि डाँडामा गएर 1 महिना जति एउटा मेरो आफ्नो एउटा टेस्टिङको लागि नै आइसोलेसनमा बसेको थिएँ। डाँडामा एकान्तमा जङ्गलमै बसेँ भने पनि हुन्छ। And I had the wonderful opportunity to get lost in the jungle. I literally got lost.
Beautiful.
That was the most unplanned, spontaneous, adventurous, but yet very spiritual experience I had. अलिअलि डर, अलिअलि मजा, अलिअलि confusion, अलिअलि challenge, the mixture of all these emotions that I went through. But then above all, the best was that I was so accepting towards these experiencing, and it was over, of course. It didn't last too long. And yeah, I really got to experience deeply, every little pores of my body was able to enjoy the freshness in the air, the pureness in the river, of the water in the river, the sound of the birds, and that every plant, every tree, they whispered. And पहिला यस्तो कसैले यो कुराहरू बयान गर्दाखेरि I used to feel like कस्तो romantic फिल्मी रहेछ जस्तो लाग्थ्यो. And I literally felt that. त्यो फिल्मी कुरा जुन पहिला मान्छे बेकार कस्तो फिल्मी भइदिएको भने त्यस्तो लाग्थ्यो, यसपालि मैले साँच्चीकै फिल गरेँ. I really, in fact, I even explained to some of my friends saying that I'm in love with that place now. Not in that particular way, in that specific place where I stayed, but that environment. And I feel like, oh, how blessed I am. I can afford that luxury. In 21st century, अहिलेको यो समयमा, the best luxury is to be with nature. To be able to live naturally, simply. त्यो luxury हामीले त्यो, if you can afford, then you're really rich.
So true.
Yeah, and I very much look forward every time. I'm like missing that environment, and at times I feel like I'm really in love. त्यो feel हुन्छ मलाई. When I talk about these experiences, these in that particular environment, my eyes sparkles, my tone changes, my heartbeat changes, you know.
Yeah, I can see it in your eyes.
Yeah. I am very much in it. And I keep on looking for how can I plan for a longer one. Yeah.
There's a saying, they say that when you're lost, आफू हराएपछि मात्र आफूलाई पाइन्छ अरे के.
Yeah, true, very true. आफू आफ्नो घरदेखि टाढा भयो भने मात्र घरको नजिक हुन्छ भन्ने छ नि. जति टाढा हुन्छ त्यति. That's very true, I think.
त्यो जिन्दगी पनि त्यस्तै हुन्छ रे के. पहिलो जिन्दगी चाहिँ हामी अरूको लागि बाँच्छौँ होइन, अनि एउटा पोइन्टमा पुग्छौँ रे के हामी. We get to a point when we realize, oh, I was doing something different. मैले त अर्कै कुरा गर्नुपर्ने थियो त.
हाम्रो समाजले हामीलाई बक्समा राख्ने बानी भइसकेको छ क्या. एउटा फ्रेममा सजाए जस्तो नि जीवन नि कसैको फ्रेम सानो छ कसैको फ्रेम ठुलो छ कोही त्यसरी नै हाम्रो तर फ्रेम छ क्या वी आर फ्रेम्ड
Explain, if you could.
I came up with this explanation when somebody asked me about what phulko आँखा means. I said phulko आँखा and then the conversation carried on with such if I would have to show it in a music video, I would say like you, me, wherever we go, every individual is carrying a frame, photo frame. कसैले अलि ठुलो frame बोकिरहेको छ and the moment this person sees you, he will immediately put the frame in the front of you to fit in his frame. No?
Yeah.
And some people has very small frame. उसले त्यो सानो फ्रेममा भए पनि तपाईलाई फिट गराउन खोज्छ. The moment you don't fit in his frame, and this person feels agitated. But the reality is you don't necessarily have to fit in that frame. You are who you are.
Yeah.
Right? And कोही मान्छेसँग ठुलो फ्रेम हुन्छ उसले ल्याउँछ ठ्याक्क अडिने मात्र हैन this person feels a lot of space within that frame and you fit in there and he even sees that I can fit in more. And this person feels so good about you.
Yeah.
So that's how we are. We are always walking around with a frame. But then how we should be is like someone who's hanging a mirror on your chest. Necklace just ni.
Well.
Imagine we are hanging a mirror. Kantima. Chati bhari mirror cha. The moment I see you, I see myself. I look at you, but I don't see you. I see myself in that mirror. Reflection of me in you. And you see yourself in me. Your reflection is in me. And that's how it explains. Did you get me?
I completely get you. No, I completely get you. I completely get you.
Okay. I'm glad that
no,
you do.
Of course.
So that's how I feel. We should try to become. The dilemma is that many of us has only small size of frame.
Very small size.
Very small. Where you yourself even can't fit in. And that's where you feel suffocated, depressed. You feel worthless and so on. That's the sad part. So the practice of Buddhism, meditating, trying to getting into little spiritual development, The world is so strongly into developing our intellectual capacity to the point where we become almost like a machine, robotic. But then very much ignored to cultivate or develop our spiritual capacity. And spiritual capacity is like being able to hang that mirror on your neck, where your whole chest is filled with that size of your mirror. So everyone is able to see themselves in you. And the moment you see yourself in that person, you feel so comfortable and you feel so good about yourself. You feel safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's what Buddha's teaching is about. Helping us to be able to see yourself in others.
So beautiful.
Yeah. मेरो एउटा गीत पनि छ त्यस्तै. जान्नु भनेको के हो बाबा, बुझ्नु भनेको के हो. कोहीलाई अरू देख्दैनन् आफू देख्नेले. Durgalal Dai wrote it so beautifully. And then equally beautifully composed by Newji.
This episode is brought to you by Pulsar.